Voting, of course, is a nonsense, but there's one exception to that great rule, and that is when people happen to vote in Clwyd South, as they did in this year's general election. There, of course, it was quite magnificent, because much of my time was spent, as well as talking to those who were unsure how to vote, was of those people who desperately did not want a Tory MP and desperately did not want one of those sheep who would come here to vote for a hard Brexit. I hope I have managed to provide them with good representation on that count. But really and truly, we all know, or most people know, not including certain members opposite, that there is much wrong with our current voting system. Now, my honourable friend, the member for East Ham, must be one of the most popular, most decent, nicest members in this place. He is a great person and a thoroughly thoughtful parliamentarian, and I'm delighted he's back here. But I'm not sure he needed his majority of 39,883. 70.4% of all the voters in that seat. There's been a quote, several people here have quoted earlier on, the late, great Robin Cook. And I can remember one story the late, great Robin Cook said. I remember it in the version where he didn't insult Lord Mandelson. And what he actually said in that, other people have heard it too, what he actually said was that under first past the post, if there was a floating voter found in the Amazon, then people would go over there and bring them back to make sure they could vote in a marginal seat. And it really begs the question that if we believe in democracy, and if we claim to be pluralists, and I appreciate not everybody does, shouldn't we actually have the guts to back a fairer system? Now, the 1997 Labour government did that, including for the National Assembly of Wales, for the Scottish Parliament, for the London Mayor and the Greater London Assembly. Now, speaking as a Welsh MP, I don't think it's been unbridled joy, I'll be totally honest with you, in Wales. In fact, sometimes it's been a right pain in the neck. But I don't believe that our National Assembly, for which I am passionately in favour, would have seriously developed that breadth of reach across society and the inclusivity had we not gone for that proportional system. Now, I know a lot of people have said that under first past the post, that at least you get stable governments. I mean, look at it, we've got one now, haven't we? And I don't think many of us would say that's true anymore. Weak and wobbly, if you'll excuse me coining a phrase. Now, I know no voting system, Sir Roger, is perfect, and that we have to have sensible thresholds. And I also know that across this country, most people aren't that bothered about constitutional issues. I have to say, coming here, having been fairly interested in them several years ago, I think I'm probably allergic to them now. But that's not the point in this debate about voting reform, because my view is one can be as concerned about bread and butter issues as you like. But if your vote doesn't actually matter because of where you live, then what on earth is the point? Your voice is either likely to go totally unheard or at best be of marginal importance. The 2011 referendum, I mean, rather a lot of things have happened since 2011. But that referendum wasn't really about a proportional system. And I think to say that is just to decry what it was about, and so much has changed. I think it's high time we have that debate, an honest, open debate. I've every confidence in my honourable friend on the front bench, because I know she's a fair-minded person, I know she's a good pluralist, and I'm looking forward to what she has to say. But I hope too that the government, there are members of the minister's party, like Jonathan Evans in Wales, who would advocate passionately for electoral reform. I think we've got to look at this issue for the sake of not just my tactical voters in Clwyd South, some of whom said they like voting for me and would like to do so again, but for people right around the country. If democracy matters, it has to matter for here. Yeah.